Welcome back to the Gadget Spot.
Yeah, yo.
Woo-woo! Back on Monday nights and feeling good.
I can actually see you guys again after that eclipse.
Hooray!
Isn't that crazy?
Did anybody look at the eclipse without glasses?
I almost did.
I did.
Because you're damaged forever.
I layered 4 sunglasses and tried it for about half a second. It didn't work.
It's like you're a cookie, and if you look at the sun, you just put dirt into it.
Yeah.
The part of your eye that gets damaged has no pain receptors, so you don't even know it, and for like 6 to 12 hours. Anyway,
What do you mean, 6 to
good
12
luck on
hours?
it.
Well,
6 to 12 hours, you'll start seeing
it was just a
blurry
glance.
vision, and
It was-
you have to look at it for like a long
Yeah, it was
time.
just a glance, and it didn't. It basically felt like a flash on a camera, and it went away real quick, like a flash on a camera.
How much
so.
worse is this for your eyes versus when you're driving and like a refraction comes off of a car and hits you in the eye?
Reflection?
much worse.
Reflection.
Well, it depends on
The
what.
direct UV rays
That's
are
a
what,
refraction of light, isn't it?
but the direct UV rays are much more dangerous than the
Yeah.
See, all 4 of these sunglasses were 100% UV protection. So I had 400% UV protection.
Yeah, and my birth parents wore 2 condoms when conceiving me, and so
They
Hello?
told you this?
no, I'm just assuming.
But
That's kind of creepy.
Oh,
Jaren let me borrow his actual Eclipse glasses, and it looked a lot cooler with those. I could actually look at it instead of just glance up and realize, nope, this didn't work.
how much did you end up paying for them?
$3
Oh, nice. Did you buy them a while ago?
a couple weeks ago.
There you go.
At Smith's
Planned ahead.
grocery store.
Yeah, that's a good plan ahead. People were buying them today for as much as $50.
Wow, for
Ridiculous.
2 minutes of use.
I saw
I
somebody.
got them for $2 at the planetarium this morning.
Well, if you were to have gone to UVU, they were for free.
Oh.
So that's a fun fact.
Indeed.
If anybody asks you, it's a fact that's fun.
You know what else is a fun fact? The names of the people on this podcast. Let's do that.
That's
Yeah.
a stretch. That's a
Let's-
stretch.
let's
Man,
do
you
that.
nailed that segue, buddy.
Super fun. Fun facts. Fun fact number 1. This guy is Owen.
Hey, I'm Owen, and here I am again after a couple weeks. Still same person.
Still alive.
Still breathing.
Still here.
Still got a beard.
Yeah.
His beard
You're
is
keeping the trim
bushier.
beard.
How's it looking? From an outside perspective?
I think, honestly, it looked better shorter.
You think
Yeah.
I want to keep it shorter? I'm just so lazy. That's so
Yep.
much work.
I know how that goes.
Well, you'd have to shave anyway, right?
No, I mean I shave like once or twice a week,
Yeah, that's fine.
but it's so much worse trying to get it all even, and you have to do so much more work. And
Can't you just put a little like measure thing on the end of a buzzer?
Yeah,
I
But
don't know.
I don't think you do it all one length. I don't know.
I can't grow facial hair, so I don't know what it's like.
Oh, it's great. I mean,
If you're keeping it stubbly, you do it all one length.
yeah. So the one thing I have noticed is that I sweat a lot when I do anything other than sit and move a mouse around for a computer,
Word.
and the beard has helped a lot with that. I don't get nearly as irritated because it retains it. What irritates me is sweat rolling down my face.
Oh,
it bugs the
yeah.
crap out
So,
of me.
like, you could wring it out like a towel and it would just come dripping out.
Well, not yet. I mean, once I get to Tony's level, maybe. But
Do you wring out your beard, Tony?
Only after a shower.
What does that look like?
Just dripping, like when a girl wrings her hair out.
It looks like you have a long enough beard to braid it at this point.
I could, yep.
Why don't you?
I've been thinking about it, having Megan do it. She really wants to.
Well, especially for this upcoming Comic-Con, because you're going to be going to that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, you should go as a Viking.
I could.
Yeah,
I'll think about
with
it.
a helmet.
I might just go as a bearded, braided human.
That could be fun.
But-
Put some Adventure Time beads on the bottom of it. A little bit of Jake and Dexter, whatever his name is.
What?
What's Jake and Amir?
Finn.
Finn, sure. What? Really?
Finn and Jake.
That doesn't sound like it goes together at all.
Adventure Time.
Sure.
Finn the human, Jake the dog.
Why did they have to call out the races? Why can't it just be a ambi-racist show? Ambiguous racist show?
Because it's making a point that there's a talking dog.
Well, can't we just automatically have a talking dog?
And now we introduce Jaren.
What about the games you're playing, Owen?
Oh,
games I'm playing. Does the Claymore Miner count as a game?
Nope.
Okay,
Nope.
then no, I haven't played any games in the last week. I was on vacation, so
So you're playing the game of life.
just the game of life and the crappy cell phone games on the toilet.
You know, I was also on vacation, and I think I emerged a better person.
Not with his grammar, though.
That's a double negative.
I had a lot of time to think driving across the plains of Nevada.
How long did it take you to drive?
Too
12
long.
hours? 12 hours?
12
still?
hours.
Yeah.
12 hours with
Too
kids.
long.
10 hours without kids.
Because they
And that's-
slept for 2 hours?
It adds 2 hours.
Yeah, 'cause you have
Dang.
to stop, man.
Oh, man. And the crying.
Benadryl. That should solve your problem.
Did you give him the adult Benadryl or the children's Benadryl?
Neither.
No,
They
you
just
didn't.
they just went through it.
Yeah, we
Moved it?
We
Did
did
you
it.
have, do you have a DVD player in the car?
We had an iPad on the back of the
Okay,
seat.
that works.
I'm sure that helped.
Yeah, it helped for about 2 hours.
So what
Yeah.
movies did they watch 9 times?
We watched Finding Nemo once and Babe once. That's about it.
Babe the Pig?
Babe the Pig.
Did you do a night drive to let them sleep through?
No,
Nevada?
because I would sleep through that as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nevada's kind of boring
Extremely boring.
and hot.
I think it's one of the most boring states.
And you get halfway through, you get past Wendover, and then there's no
It's just
reception.
nothing.
There's not
No,
even
no,
data.
you go through Wendover and then you go through those hills, which is actually something kind of cool to look at.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
in between, what is it, Battle Mountain
Battle
and
Mountain's
Reno?
actually not that bad.
Yeah, it's nice. I drove it on my motorcycle when I went to go pick it up, and I drove it
Yeah.
back across the Nevada desert by myself.
I stopped at that place.
After a while, it just looks all the same.
So they're selling acres for $100 each out there.
Investment.
Yeah. You could get an acre of land in Nevada along the I-80 for only $99.
What would you do with it, though?
I don't
Is there a
know.
limit on the amount of acres you could buy?
No. You can buy as many acres as you want.
I hitchhiked on that road once from Nevada. That's a story I'll have to tell one time.
You are
Hitchhiked.
so full of stories.
Hitchhiked. Stopped at an abandoned gas station and raided it.
Okay, we
Anyway.
need the story now.
We'll have to do it after James introduces
Are you
himself.
talking about
Antony.
Fallout right now?
No, I'm talking about my antics when I was a kid, like I don't know, 28.
Dude, that was like 4 years ago for
Yeah, it was.
No,
No, it was like 8 years ago for me.
You're not 36.
I'm turning 37 this year.
You are 36.
you. Did you have a dog with you that was called Dog Meat?
Nope, just me and my buddy hitchhiking.
I want to hear this story, so let's get through the intros. Jaren, are you playing any games?
Yeah, I bought Sonic Mania.
Oh, yeah, me
yeah.
too.
What do you think of it, James?
It's all right.
I think I like it.
Yeah, it's worth $20. It's
Totally.
finally a game that the Nintendo put out that's
Well,
worth its
they,
price.
They didn't put it out.
Sega put out.
Yeah, Sega.
Well,
But it is
on the Switch, I meant to say.
So I've tried to go back and play the original Sonic games. They've never held my attention for more than 10
You're talking
minutes.
on your phone, right?
No, like on PlayStation or whatever. I got the re-releases for like $1 or something. But this game is fun. I'm enjoying it. I played it for.
Do you play with the stick or do you play with the D-pad underneath?
D-pad
Oh,
all
of
the
course.
way, yeah.
Gotta go D-pad.
But it's priced very fairly. There's a lot of things to do on there. The graphics are pretty for old pixel graphics.
I'm hoping that we're seeing kind of a renaissance in game pricing right now. Yeah. Because Sonic Mania, $20. That Sensua game from Ninja Theory that just came out, $30. And it looks as good as a AAA title, plays as good. That's a $60 game. So I'm hoping they're starting to trend. They're obviously always going to be games that demand the full $60 ticket price.
Like an Uncharted or Call
Yeah.
of Duty or whatever.
Or even like your Maddens and stuff. They're never going to lower the price on those. But there's a lot of opportunity, I think, for high game sales for games that are $40 or less, brand new.
Speaking of Uncharted, they also put out a game that's lowered price, $40.
Indeed.
For it's kind of an expansion, but it's more than just a basic DLC.
It's standalone.
Yeah, it's standalone. And it's pretty long, like 8-9 hours.
Yeah.
Did you play it?
I have it. I haven't played it yet.
Just came out today.
Yeah.
Isn't it nice having... Do you guys ever have this dilemma where you buy a game that you know you're going to like, but you don't want to play it because you don't want it to be over?
You know what? There's
You know what I mean?
I think there's a lot of joy in anticipating things.
Yep.
You know,
And then once you actually play it, it's like... it's like reading a good book.
It
It's
could
like,
be great while you play it, but then you're done, and it's like, well, now what do I look forward to?
Yeah.
I have more joy in my consoles by just looking at them right now because I don't have time to play them.
They're a shrine to the money that you spent to get them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always think, oh, I have these awesome game consoles that I want to play someday. How cool.
Well, that's why the Switch is nice. You just take it with you.
Yeah, I am taking the Switch with me this week, so that's why I bought Sonic Mania. I'm excited.
Nice.
I took it with me to San Fran. It was nice. What's up, guys? My name is James. You can catch me on Twitter at JDDJensen. JDD is for ADD. You can catch me on Xbox One. Not so much lately, but you can. My gamer tag is Funeral Taters. That's Funeral Space Taters. You can catch me on YouTube on YouTube on UVU's YouTube page.
What
we
is
just
this?
finished filming the pilot to UVU's The Water Cooler.
Are you in it?
Yeah, I'm the host of it. It's kind of UVU's competition for Studio C.
So it's a sketch comedy.
Yeah, it has 4 different sketches in it. Just know going into it that it was pretty low budget right out the gate. But it was
Called The
filmed,
Water Cooler?
It's The Water Cooler.
Okay.
That's cool. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, I'll let you know for sure when it comes out, and I'll pimp it on our Facebook page and stuff. But so that was fun. You can catch my little independent YouTube channel that I'm gonna. Well, I already have one video out, and it's in the same vein as Vine. So if you enjoy those kind of
Super short.
super short ADD lace,
Yep.
Is this your selfie stick?
Selfie stick. Yeah.
that was my selfie
That was
stick.
fantastic video.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was super short. I got another one that we're filming on Wednesday. It should be out on Thursday. You can catch that on YouTube. Sorry, I just spit into that. YouTube under RDPOV. That's an acronym for Red Devil Point of View. That was the very first, fun fact, that was the very first experience that I ever had filming was in high school. It stands for Red Devil Point of View. In high school, we had a class with me and literally just my close friends, and we would just film sketch stuff in high school.
You said you didn't have friends in high school.
Hey, I had a couple.
Okay.
Everybody has a couple of friends.
Well, I'm glad you had friends. This
Yeah.
whole time I was concerned you didn't have any friends in high school.
No, if I can dig up any old RDPOV from high school stuff, I'll put it out there. But that's the new channel, RDPOV. I think right now we have like 105 subscribers, give or take a little bit. But that's after some heavy-duty pimping.
Nice.
And hopefully, yeah. If you want to, go there, subscribe. It'll be fun. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. There was definitely something else I needed to pimp for this, but I'll think of it later and just blurt it out as it comes.
I get
normal.
I get jealous when other people I know are having fun without me. And
Well, that's the thing.
I'm
is
kind of jealous of you.
I
right
own
now.
this channel with, well, I'm my buddy John's helped me out, but I'm the proprietor of it.
Proprietor.
And I actually want to film a skit with you guys, and I'm writing one right now specifically for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Little 10-second skit. If you guys want to be a part of it, I think it'd be a lot of fun.
I'm in.
I'm not doing that, but
Go
I'm
Gadget!
Yeah, I'm with Owen.
I don't like
I'm
physical
in, but
contact,
I'm not doing the.
but I like that.
I'm not doing the hands in the middle.
Why not?
I just don't feel like it.
It was
Also,
it was
there's
a Captain
fan.
Planet thing.
Do you not like that when I do it for Geek Show during Comic-Con?
I think
When
it's really weird,
when
man.
I put the hands
I'll be
in?
honest.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Why?
Because it is.
It helps to get me pumped. It's like, everybody in. 1, 2, 3, go!
Yeah.
See, but he also likes the sports stuff.
I do it to
That we
humor.
don't-
Oh, that was the
that-
other thing.
that we don't
I'll
understand.
talk about that later on. the show.
I sparked it.
Good job.
I
Owen.
remembered what I needed to pimp.
Indeed.
.com.
Okay.
And we got a host.
Oh, hey. Thanks.
Imp.com.
Thanks,
The-
C. James.
The unbraided, bridled, bearded boy wonder.
That's Man Wonder to you, sir.
Man wonder.
It's me, Tony. Hey, guys. Check me out here on Gadget Spot or on the Geek Show podcast or on the Twitters at QuadTTony. That's it. Intros are done. Oh, games. I am playing Dragon Age Inquisition still and really enjoying that.
I think he's going to be saying this for the next 20 episodes.
Yeah, because it's a long game.
How many hours into that game are you?
About 50.
And really quick, by the way, I'm playing Boom Beach
Boom Beach on your phone.
on my phone and Sonic Mania on the Switch.
That's about all I'm playing. I still pull out what is it, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Zelda.
That's a fun
once a week or so.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is a fun game that you can whip out for like 10 minutes
Exactly,
at a time.
yeah.
Do like a Grand Prix.
I usually that's
put it away.
what I'll do. I'll be getting ready for bed and I'll sit down in bed and be like, I'm gonna do a Grand Prix, and I'll just do 10 minutes of Mario Kart and then.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. I got my refund for Splatoon 2.
Did you now?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it.
You better hurry. It's been like
you,
a month.
You burned up your
Yeah.
one-time
Yes.
Nintendo,
Wait,
once
so
in a
how did you do it?
lifetime.
They allow you one time.
Talk,
so
talk us through.
lifetime.
How did you do this?
I just went to their chat, or no, I called them, and I said, I bought Splatoon 2 because I thought it had local multiplayer because that's what you advertise on your website, blah, 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 but it's only over the wireless network. And they said they give me a refund, but it's only a one-time courtesy. But I don't think I'm going...
Maybe they mean one time per game.
Did I tell
Maybe.
you? I
No.
did that with Battlefront. Yeah, the first one.
Ooh, speaking of which, did you guys see the new trailer for the Battlefront 2 game?
Oh, my goodness.
That space battle stuff looks good.
It's amazing.
Temper your expectations because
No,
in
here's-
no way, shape, or form is it going to be like that.
Here's what I'm saying. my speculation is I think it will be close to that, and I think Battlefront 2 is going to be what everyone expected out of Battlefront 1.
Yes!
If I can get that scene where all the TIE fighters are flying out of the dock at the same time, if that's how the space battle opens with you in the dock and then flying out into space, that is worth $60.
There's no reason that couldn't be in there. I think there's not going to be nearly as many cuts to inside the cockpit, obviously, while you're playing, for you to see Yoda.
I don't know
Darth Maul
anybody
and stuff
that
like
plays inside the cockpit.
Oh, I
like
totally
first
would.
person view.
Oh, I would.
No,
I would
I
definitely.
totally
I
would.
would definitely play first person. But I'm talking about if you watch the video, it cuts to like an over the shoulder camera, and you see the side of Darth Maul's face, and he says stuff, and then another part cuts to the side of over the shoulder on Yoda, and Yoda's flying something, and he says something.
Maybe
like,
I didn't watch the entire thing.
Fear
then.
you, I do not, and things like that, and
So
so obviously you won't have that while you're playing, but the dog fighting on it looks really good.
I played Xbox and not Xbox, X-Wing and TIE Fighter in the 90s growing up.
You played it first person.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much all you
Yeah,
have.
but you're
Oh,
not.
that's right.
You're not
it was
playing
a sim.
Yeah,
so you,
it's a sim.
But you're not playing it competitively, though. I don't know anybody who plays like competitively online and does first person.
I never play anything competitively because I suck at online games.
That's all that Battlefront is.
I know, but it's fun.
Oh, okay.
It's fun to lose.
Yeah.
In that good of a game,
There's-
it's fun to,
I
it's
think-
even fun to lose.
There's
I
some
think-
games that are that like Titanfall 2.
Yep.
I lose all the time. I still have a good time.
It's still a fun game to lose
Well,
at.
it's
even.
because they have computers and you can shoot the computers, and it makes you feel like you're
For
contributing.
sure.
I think I got first place once in Battlefront 1.
It was it was the greatest moment of Jaren's
yeah,
life.
It was awesome. I'm very excited for that game though. The graphics look astounding.
They look so good.
And the fact that they're doing like all 3 generations of Star Wars is very cool.
Oh man, being a battle droid was the only good thing to come out of the prequels.
See, and when you watch the video, it starts off you're at post episode 6, and they reference Poe Dameron in that first part of the video, and then it goes to episode 1 era stuff, prequel era.
With the Trade Federation blockades,
exactly,
and
the blockade and Darth Maul, and then it ends on some action with Yoda from the original 3.
I think the Frostbite engine is by far the best engine when it comes to lighting. The lighting in Battlefront 1
I'd say
and
you're
Battlefield 1.
which is super
The
important
light-
in a space
Yeah.
game where like all you have is the light. Like,
The lighting is
Well,
just so realistic.
Did you say Battlefield 1 twice?
No, I said Battlefront and Battlefield.
Oh, sorry.
Here's the thing with the Frostbite engine right now is it's basically EA's go-to game engine. They use it for, I think, all of their big name titles right now. And so you have like 12 development teams working with this engine at the same time, and they're all going to try and use the engine in a way that benefits their game best. So they do all this work to make it good for FIFA. And then another engine or another developer that uses it makes it look really good for the BioWare games. BioWare uses it for Dragon Age. They used it for Mass Effect Andromeda. 2 not that great of results on Mass Effect, but
I heard it was because of the Frostbite engine that made Mass Effect so poor of a game. Like it really hindered the development process because they had to build a lot of things for the engine that they could actually use.
That doesn't make any sense to me because Dragon Age Inquisition was made
I know.
2 years ago, almost 3, and it looks great still.
I agree, but the article I read was saying how they had issues with the Frostbite engine. But other than that, it's just been a great engine.
They use it for racing games and everything. So you have all these different teams utilizing the engine in different ways. So if someone comes to the table and says, I want to make this type of game, EA can just say, oh, go talk to this team because they already did a similar situation. And you can use all the stuff they've already done.
Speaking of Mass Effect, they officially said that there's going to be no single story mode, right, coming through.
Single player
No
support
DLC.
has ended with Mass Effect Andromeda.
I think that's the clearest message they could send.
Yeah, and they stated a while back, I don't know if we reported on it or not, but Mass Effect, the license, that intellectual property is being shelved for the time being.
Ouch.
So there is still a team working on multiplayer component to Mass Effect for some reason.
Yeah, who plays multiplayer Mass
I don't
Effect?
know.
If anybody wants a Mass Effect Andromeda download code, I still have one.
How many do you have?
2. I have 2. Couldn't get my hands on any more of those GPUs that came with the free Mass Effect.
Right.
But I do have one.
So they did say, though, that they would continue the story through the multiplayer. I don't know what that means, and I don't know how good that'll work, but maybe it'll be all right. So
I doubt it.
Basically what it boils down to is if you haven't played Mass Effect Andromeda yet and you want to, if you find it on a good deal, don't hesitate to get it now because it's not going to get any better than what it already is. They've made some changes that have made things better with like the facial animation and things like that, but you're not going to see any big patches that make the game any better. So if you're waiting for that ultimate patch to make it the game that it should be, stop waiting. It's not coming.
It's disappointing. That game had such great promise.
You know what has had good luck with patches, though, surprisingly to me, is No Man's Sky.
I know.
That game actually now with the 3 or 2 big patches and multiple smaller patches, it's made me think, okay, I'd pick that game up on sale.
How much is it going for right now?
They still want $60 for it. It's still too much.
They put it on sale many times for like $25.
Right, but normal price is $60.
When they released the patch, it was on sale for $25 at the time. But
they fixed my biggest gripe, which was teleportation. I hated that you had to walk all the way back to your ship. Now you can just teleport back to your ship if you're exploring a world.
So it's cool, though, because they're a tiny studio, like 8 people.
Yeah.
And so if they're working on this, on No Man's Sky, they're not working on anything else.
Right.
And they're not going to get massive sales now if they put out a patch.
No,
they're just doing it to, I think they're just trying to make their name good again.
I agree 100%.
Like,
I think that
can we clean this off? It fell in the dirt.
It's so dirty at this point. I don't know if they can, because it's still tainted in my mind. A lot of people saw that and they're like,
the hype train derailed in
I don't think it
their
will,
hometown.
Yeah, I don't think it will ever get to the point where people are accepting it as much as it was looked forward to.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
well, I
not
don't think
ever close.
anything could have.
Let that be a valuable lesson to people out there.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the hype train is dangerous, like to studios and stuff like that. Like there is such a thing as too much hype.
I think this is another lesson in releasing a game before it's actually complete.
Right.
A lot of these features and stuff they've added in these big patches for No Man's Sky were stuff that were promised a year before the game came out.
They've even improved the graphics.
And yeah, they've improved
cool.
it. I mean, they've done a bang-up job patching this game up. So I'll probably end up picking it up
So
sometime.
you think it was like an unbalance in like the investors having a say in like game release time? Like we want this
Definitely.
out,
100%.
You know? Because I have to believe that the engineer, like the developers, were like, "This isn't ready."
I guarantee. I can't guarantee, but I would highly suspect that it was an issue of investors saying, get this game out the door. We want to see some of our money. The hype train's never going to get any bigger than it already is.
Yeah,
we've already pre-sold 1 million copies.
Sony helped advertise it, and people went crazy for it. So I bet
Yep.
Sony was like, "Get this out the door."
Yep. So, kudos to them for keeping support on it, though, and actually creating something from basically a poop stain.
Yeah.
You know,
See, but to me, it's still going to be the.
it's still stained for sure.
Well, yeah, like for me, the definitive video that I saw for No Man's Sky was they have that scene where
Jurassic
Park,
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're getting out of the Jeep, and then
clip.
he pulls his car, and it's the da 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 da, but it's in the harmonica. It's
Oh
just
my gosh, one of the
awful.
funniest.
Like the broken kazoo or
Yeah,
whatever.
one of the funniest clips.
But speaking of
Yeah,
hype
video was
train,
great.
did you guys see that video from like I don't know, it was like I got it right here, but it's like from the developers conference or something like that. It's like the new Dota game. And
Oh,
everybody's
yeah.
like, "Oh, what's going on?" And it's like artifact, and then as soon as the artifact comes up, right underneath it, the subtitle
says
a Dota card game,
Yeah.
and the whole crowd's reaction. Oh, can you imagine the feeling being
Well,
a developer for that game,
yeah.
and then hearing that?
that's the problem that Valve has right now with their game development is people want Half-Life 3 so
Half-Life
badly.
3, Portal 3,
Or a Portal 3 or a Left 4 Dead 3.
Team Fortress 3.
Yeah, and so
They
anything
have a
they
big problem with the number 3.
they do. They really do.
There was a whole thing that came out.
They even doubled down on that with Half-Life because they did Half-Life episode or Half-Life 1 and
Half-Life
2,
Episode
and
1,
then
Episode
Half-Life
2.
Episode 1 and Episode 2, and they never got to 3 on those even. But that's the problem they're having right now is anything they announced that's not that, people aren't going to care.
Which I think
And
it's,
then the fact that it's a card game, they're just like,
dude,
"Meh,
so many card games out right now.
who cares?"
Nobody cares. On top of that, Blizzard already has one of the best card games out right now.
Yeah, that's the juggernaut right now for sure.
Yeah, Pokemon gave their card game out for free, basically on the iPad, and I don't know, man.
Yeah, this
I don't see them.
you'd have to have something spectacularly
Well, and
special.
Gwent is out now too, right?
So Gwent is, I think it's still
Is it officially
in
out of beta?
beta, but it's
never
coming
mind.
out pretty soon. But that's only on console, Xbox, and PC. And there's always rumor and speculation that they'll do a mobile version. Now, that's a game that if they did a mobile version of it, I'd play.
It's a pretty fun game. I occasionally get on and still play the beta. Like jump on there and play
Exactly.
it. And I've actually come back to it a couple times.
Yeah.
It's a good distractor. If it was on my phone, I would actually play it.
I'd play it a lot if it was on my phone or my iPad. But I think that game, honestly, at this point is kind of the only card game out there that could even come close to taking a small bite out of Hearthstone.
Right.
Hearthstone is just the massive juggernaut. I think there's a Digital Magic, The Gathering that people
Magic
can play.
the Gathering is
I
on
played that-
every
I played that
platform
one, too.
right now. Yeah,
And
you can get it on iPad, you can get it on your
and
Xbox.
The thing that made the Pokemon game, or makes the Pokemon card game interesting, if I'm remembering correctly, is you buy booster packs in real life.
I don't know about the booster packs, but the
scan
bigger packs.
Yeah, oh yeah, maybe the bigger
that-
packs. But
that
there
are
are packs.
themed.
There are packs you can buy, and you scan them, and you get those cards in the digital game too.
Right.
That's really cool.
Well, what I did when I got into it, I'm not going to lie, I got into it like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
There's websites that you can go to online where they just sell. So like it is those like theme packs that you'd see at Walmart or something.
Sure.
Where it's a whole battle deck that's ready to go. Because it has to be an approved deck. But no, actually, never mind. Now that I'm thinking about it, you can build your own deck in the game. But you can go online and just buy the codes for like $3.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So, Patreon.
Oh yeah, we forgot about Patreon. Good call, Jaren. Hey, let's take a little break, and Jaren's gonna read our. You pulled it up already, I'm assuming. Okay, nice. We gotta give a shout out to our Patreon tech daddies for helping.
We don't gotta. We get the opportunity.
Oh well, I feel obligated because of how much we like them.
Well, we kind of have a contract too. They pay us, and we said we'd do this. So,
But we want to.
Well, of course we want to.
yes,
These guys help fund the show, keep it on
And
the
gal.
and gal.
Oh, and gal. That's right.
We got a lady?
Yeah, we covered this like 2 times ago.
Tech mommy.
All right.
So do it up, Jaren.
All right, so thank you so much to AJ Jasper, Aaron Harris, David Osuna, Ryan Baker, Lindsay Lucas, Michael Beck, Matt Nelson, Jeffrey Kale, David Broshinsky, Roger Allen, Austin Beauregard,
Beauregard.
Pickle Rick,
Yeah, Pickle Rick.
I'm Pickle Rick!
Dan Clark, Brian Lee, Conrad Southworth, and Adam Hecht.
I turned myself into a pickle.
I'm a Pickle Morty. I'm Pickle Rick!
If I can't, which they can't.
Oh, that is still the best episode this season so
For
far.
so
Yeah,
far.
that was an awesome episode.
However, there still hasn't been a bad episode, even though I thought this latest one...
See, I haven't seen the one from yesterday.
Dude, all of them you can get on Facebook. I don't know why you're harassing Owen.
Oh, it's okay.
You can get all of them on Facebook.
I put them up there. I was the last one
I
got
like
kind of the last couple got a bit deep.
Oh,
With the
yeah.
old,
It got deep, but it got dark.
Yeah,
Both.
it got dark. A little bit dark. Where I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, the whole Pickle Rick episode revolves around basically Pickle Rick killing things and then also diving into the depths of their emotional state of mind after the divorce during
miss Jerry.
the divorce between Jerry.
Oh,
and,
this last episode is
All
a
Jerry, yeah.
Rick and Jerry adventure.
Oh, really?
I gotta watch this.
So good.
It's actually, dude, how they think of this stuff. Like, I mean, Dan Harmon and his
Justin Roiland.
Yeah, Justin Roiland and the creative writing team. When
See,
they stop writing their show, it'll be a social injustice.
the last episode I saw was episode 4, I think. and
What happened in that episode?
It was the one where,
The Avengers spoof.
yeah,
that was last
the
week.
Vindicators.
Yeah.
That
one was
I would
okay.
say that was probably the weakest of the season so far, but it was still really good.
The thing about that episode is if you go back and you watch the episode knowing how it ends, like with the cardboard cutouts and everything, and if you look earlier on in the episode, you can see the cardboard cutouts in the background. The attention
Cardboard
to detail.
Cutouts.
Yeah, because at the end, the rainbow and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
However,
Okay.
Dan Harmon did tweet out like 2 days later. Have you guys seen this episode? Am I spoiling
Yes,
anything
I've
for you guys?
I've seen it.
So at the end,
been a week.
he actually meant it for, what was that other guy's name? Oh, gosh. Or
Oh, Mr.
gosh
Poopy Butthole?
dang- No, not Mr. Poopy Butthole.
No, it's
Is the
the-
one with the mask.
Noob.
Noob.
Oh, Noob, yeah.
So the end thing was actually
Right.
meant for Noob.
right.
But that wasn't really explained until, he got to the thing. And even then, he just said Noob. Dan Harmon tweeted out at somebody and just said, The line that Rick says right there, like, it was supposed to be, "I love you, noob, all 96 pounds of you," and then Morty was supposed to say, "Oh, that's how much I weigh," to like tie it into why it activated. But he's like, "Yeah, we probably should have left that in there."
Oh yeah, that would have made more sense because
why didn't it kill them all?
exactly.
when he
I
got on
wondered
there?
that. I was like, why?
Yeah.
Why did it accept Morty as noob?
Yeah, but
That makes
it's like
sense.
that, and then when you find out that whatever Earth Killer or whatever his name is dead, if you look in the background, all the minions that died are in sex positions.
Yeah. Yep. All of them.
Yeah,
They're all in like.
but it's like the small details in that
I'm gonna
show.
Rewatch. I got to rewatch that episode.
It's fun seeing the community. What's that word?
Come together.
Actors. The actors from Community have guest starring roles. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I'm on little sleep.
Okay.
Who was the head of the Vindicators? Who did that voice?
It was Britta from Community. What's her name? Jillian Jacobs.
Jillian Jacobs.
No, the head of the Vindicators. Sorry, not the
Oh,
girl, but
the
the
guy-
guy with the vest, the
and
Chris Pratt
the
character.
jet boots.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Why can't the girl be the head?
Oh, she can't. Well, she actually was the head. If you think about it.
It was co-head.
Yeah.
I thought that
I
whole
didn't get-
interplay between all of them was fantastic.
Oh, it was so good.
Fantastic.
Rick's like retort to like the drinking at the beginning. Oh,
that was funny.
so
Yeah.
good.
I also was late because I drank,
But I did not get this kind of reception.
but I did not feel the need to tell everybody about it. Oh, it was fantastic.
And how Morty at this season has just had enough of Rick's crap.
Yeah. And his,
just over it.
and his mom's.
Yeah.
And his
He
dad.
just doesn't care.
He's just like, you guys need to grow up. Why am I the responsible one?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Especially at the end of this last episode.
Yeah. It's a
man.
great show.
I'm trying to find the actor because I swear it sounded like the guy that was.
It almost sounds like
It sounded to me like I can't remember his name, but he plays Mr. Robot's dad, the main character on Mr. Robot's
I've
dad.
never seen Mr.
Christian
Robot.
Slater.
Christian Slater.
Yeah.
Was it Christian?
I don't know it. I thought the same thing. It
Cameo.
I thought it would. I thought
The
it was.
word was cameo.
It was Christian Slater.
It was Christian Slater, right?
Oh, good one.
I thought that. I'll take the high five from Tony, even though he earned it.
Yeah.
I did it.
What about the high five for me remembering that word?
Cameo.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that
Kick out of
played
the-
the
out of the
KFC
dark.
guy who was really
Cameo.
good at it? Norm Macdonald. I thought it was Norm Macdonald for a hot minute, but
I thought it was Christian Slater, but then like he kind of changed he was changing his voice a little bit. But
So here's the thing about Rick and Morty. It's turned into like the new Breaking Bad for me. It's like I go to work and I'm like, "Have you seen Rick and Morty? Have you?"
See, I'm
it's
the
so
only one
good.
at work that watches it, so I don't get to talk to anyone
Same
about
here.
it there.
same here.
So, but man, I love everything about that show.
I just hate that it's going to be over in like 2-3 episodes.
Meh. All right, let's talk a little bit about another aspect of television. Jaren's favorite thing to hate, the Apple TV.
It's a love-hate relationship.
Indeed, you love to hate it.
It's up and
Yeah,
down.
it's garbage.
Right now, it's up.
What?
Oh boy, it's up.
The
Well,
love,
what could make you say that?
Why
So-
did they give you your money back?
So months ago, they announced Amazon will finally be coming to the Apple TV. It hasn't yet, but it will soon. Last week, Vudu announced that they're finally going to have an app on the Apple TV, and that's huge because the Apple TV up to this point has not supported ultraviolet movies, and so if you have
which is a lot of people's
a lot of
main
people.
collections.
Yeah, and I have a ton of ultraviolet movies. And so the Apple TV is finally the one box to rule them all for me because it supports every major service out there finally. At least it will in a few weeks.
So you need to rename your Apple TV after those apps come out to Sauron.
Yeah, so
Now, can I ask you a quick question about the Apple TV? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to anyway.
Sure.
Does it aggregate the apps together, or do you have to go into Netflix to watch this stuff?
you have to go to Netflix to watch Netflix stuff.
Just like a
Amazon to watch
regular
Amazon
smart
stuff.
TV, right?
Their TV,
Apple TV tried to do that, but
Yeah.
it sucks.
their TV
Oh.
app, the thing that was supposed to do that, is an abomination and still doesn't work well.
Good
But-
word choice.
Because I was going to
Abomination.
say, like, it'd be cool if you could like search it and then whatever it's available to you on.
You can
Open
search
that-
it, but not
open that
every
up.
service will come up on that search because it's an abomination. So if you just go into the app itself, it works. It works well most of the time. Another thing that has me excited about the Apple TV is rumors are there's going to be a 4K version this fall, but that's just a rumor.
They don't
so
have a 4K version
not yet.
No,
So we won't talk about that too
How
much.
much do you think it's going to cost?
Probably
it
150.
should be the same price.
Yeah.
That's Apple's history is to release the new version at the same price.
Mm.
That's just what they've almost always done. Look, we got a lot of game news actually today. I was surprised. That makes sense.
Can I pimp my thing before we get into games?
Yeah.
Yes!
All
right, guys. It's that time of year again. If you guys are excited like I do, like I get about fantasy-like stuff, i.e., obviously, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones,
These are the wrong kind of fantasies
Sword in the Stone.
for what you're talking about.
But then I also like stuff like football and soccer and baseball. Guess what, guys? I have started a Gadget Spot Fantasy Football League. Yep, it's going to be on Amazon. It's powered by Yahoo.
What do I have to What do I have to know to get involved?
All you got to do is just sign up and then just be at the draft and just set a lineup once a week, and that's all you got to do.
Can I have a bot like choose my line for me?
I don't give a crap what you do if you play.
Owen, don't do it. You don't need another.
Dude, Owen, okay. Here's the deal. As of right now, I am the only one that's going to be on the Gadget Spots Fantasy Football.
We already
know.
all kind of.
That's why
I think you would like it.
That's why I think I'm going to join just for the camaraderie, but not to win or play because I get too anxious when I.
How about
lose.
if you win? My bet. Okay, if you score higher than me this season,
yeah,
we'll say it like that. If you rank higher than I do by the end of the season, I'll give you $50.
Sweet.
Now you understand, Owen.
Give me that in 0.2 Ethereum.
No, okay. By the way,
if you want this from him to win, you're going to have to put time and effort into.
Dude, if you have time,
you can't
if you
just
got
have a
time
bot
to poop,
do it.
You got time to poop. You got time to play the game.
I think I can. I think I might be able to.
So
I'll just ask you to do it for me.
I am opening my own fantasy league.
Competing.
No. This fantasy league is to determine how many people are going to join your fantasy league, and we're going to take bets.
All right, guys. If you want to stick it to Jaren, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tweet this out on
just trying to help you.
I'm gonna put out a link. It's in our show notes, but I'm also going to put it on our Facebook page and our Twitter.
Yeah.
And the draft for the Fantasy Football League, I have it set for this coming Sunday, which is the let me pull this up. The 27th at 6 p.m. is the draft.
You know, I wish you all the best and success in this. I think it's cool, but
I'm trying to reach out to our fans right now.
I know. I hope it goes great, but I just don't plan on me being there. That's all I'm saying.
I'll bring all of the fans that are here for me.
All right, so it's going to be me, and it's going to be Owen.
That's probably most of the fans.
No,
honestly.
that's not true. maybe just Aaron. And my wife.
So anywho, I would like to get it up to a 12-man league.
She likes you more than me.
We get more. If we get less, we get less. It is what it is. We'll play where it stands. If we have an odd number, we'll have somebody have a bye week.
I support your decision. In my mind, I think it's great.
There you go. That's as much support you're going to get from Tony, I think.
Yep.
You know what?
It's more support than me.
I hope that there's fantasy draft for GPUs and you get all the performance.
Oh, speaking of
buffing
GPUs,
you want.
We need to talk about Radeon.
That new Vega RX Vega.
Yeah, there's the 56 and the 64.
Yeah.
So I've read quite a few articles and watched quite a few videos that show benchmarks and things like that. And it looks like AMD has both a winner and a loser on its hands.
Sounds like the history of AMD.
It kind of is. It's a step forward and a step back all at the same time. So they have two cards. You have the 56 and the 64.
What's the difference?
The 56 is less powerful and basically competes with an NVIDIA 1070. And the 64 is supposed to compete with an NVIDIA 1080. Now, if you go read reviews and watch any benchmark videos and things like that, you will see that for $399, I believe, is the price. Unless
that's the
56.
Yep, that's the
for $399 you get the 56, and it actually, especially with the overroom that it has for the overhead it has for overclocking, you can get better than 1070 performance for $400, which is right about the 1070 price.
Yep.
Which is really cool. The only downside with that card is, and it's the same downside that the 64 has, they use so much electricity.
They do.
They just drink your watts down. It's like if one of them had a strawberry milkshake and the other one had a strawberry milkshake, he would go across the room and drink
Yep.
his milkshake.
Yep. There's a lot of power consumption.
Will you put your phone number in my phone?
Mm-hmm.
So the thing with the 56 uses more power than the 1070, but for the price to performance ratio, it actually comes out ahead of the 1070 in many respects. Now the 64 one, oh man, I was reading a review on the Asus Strix version of it, which is Asus version of it that's got a better cooler and some factory overclocking.
Fans, right.
That thing was pulling down over 400 watts under load.
Stock is 360 out of the box, no changes.
That is crazy. A 1080, which will outperform the 64 in many benchmarks and tie, or maybe be slightly worse in other ones. The point is, though, that 1080 will use around 200 watts, 225, I think.
So in the mining world, too, Uncle Squinky actually sent us an article that I read through that about it. So, all of us in the mining community have been like, okay, maybe, because the mining community and the gaming community kind of fight.
A little bit, yeah. They butt heads over resources.
Yeah, over resources, right?
Quit buying our GPUs.
Like, and we raise, the miners have no brand loyalty. Like, we just want something that works. And that's why NVIDIA and those guys are really kind of like, well, what do we do? Because if a certain coin or whatever falls to the dirt, and everybody's buying GPUs for that, then all of a sudden the market's completely flooded with these cards and anything. So if you're a gamer and you're looking for that, it makes sense to keep an eye on the cryptocurrency market, because if you see it crashing, you'll see so many cards hit the market for really good prices.
Mine's going to hit the market.
See?
Yeah.
Case in point.
So
does it make you feel good how high Ethereum is right now?
Yeah, it's doing okay. It's doing
What's
okay.
it at as of today?
320.
Yeah, it's 320.
Nice.
Yeah. I spent the last couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, mining other coins. So I kind of took a break from Ethereum and mined some other stuff.
But you're coming back to your mistress?
I'm coming back to my first love.
So
Because
I know you know what the numbers are off the top of your head, what did you make overall in your other coin X?
So I mined to hold because I'm too afraid to trade on the markets. I don't really know that part of it yet, and I'm not fast enough to do it.
Oh, you don't know what the conversion rate is at all?
I know what the coins are worth, but I haven't tried to convert them into any other coin yet. I've just been mining.
So how much did you make?
I mined a couple other coins. SIG-T. There was some big drama out there. If you want to go research that, and there's a BIC UBIQ, which was it's another Ethereum algorithm hash, and it's actually doing pretty good right now. It's like Ethereum, but based more in a corporate environment. You have to when you research a coin, you have to look at what the dev team's roadmap is.
Yeah, what the purpose is of the coin.
Why is it there?
Yeah.
What are they planning to do with it? I like a BIC's roadmap. Ethereum is still the number 2 out there behind Bitcoin, and almost the number 3 behind Bitcoin Cash.
Crazy?
Isn't that crazy that coin split, and the split maintained value because there was mining power still. You could still mine that, and so people put their hash to that, and they're floating that up. It's mind-boggling to me, the market on that. But
did you say mind-boggling?
Mind-boggling.
And Bitcoin is up to a new high right now at $4,000.
It came over $4,000. Can you believe that?
Just crazy.
How much is 5 Ethereum at $4,000, Tony?
5 Ethereum at 4.
I mean 5 Bitcoin at 4
I'm not thinking about that.
Okay, I'm just saying.
I'm not going to waste brain cells.
$20,000.
That's how much Tony lost. That's how much Tony lost in his Bitcoin wallet.
That's taxless money right there.
Anyway, so Uncle Squinky sent us this article about that. Now, in the world of mining, you face power versus hash, right?
Right.
Out of the box, the RX 64 actually underperforms against the 56 as far against hash power.
Isn't that interesting?
It's crazy.
Out of the box, it's weaker, but it is a more powerful, more expensive card.
Yeah, so it actually, it depends on if you have to pay for power or not. If you don't have to pay for power, it might be worth it to pick up some of these $400 RX Vega 56s because they come out of the box at, it says, hold on, it's in this article.
It's with a new beta driver that AMD
the
just
new
put out.
beta driver. If you get it stock, it actually sucks, but the 56 comes out of the box at 36.
And that's before you've tweaked it.
That's before you've tweaked it. Mega hashes per second. Then the 1070 comes out of the box at about 27, 28.
Yeah.
You can push that up to about 32 right now. Anyway, I pay for power, and a lot of the miners that are still out there are paying for power, so it actually
it's not good.
No, the trade-off.
The trade-off, how much you're spending on power versus how much your hash is just not a good ratio.
I'm at 32 mega hashes per second per card on mine right now. and it's about 115 watts per card. Which is, I have 4 cards currently.
Now, to achieve that with AMD cards, you'd be looking more like, like 250, 300 watts per card.
Per card. And once you tweak them, the 56s go up again quite a bit.
That's crazy.
The 56s, let me see what this says out of the box, wattage-wise. The 56s out of the box are 288 watts before you mess with them. You push them, and they go up to about 300, 310, I think.
That's insane.
And they have some that are slightly overclocked already, some 1900 megahertz. They have those listed, but the RX 64, the Vega 64 comes out of the box at 360.
Those things, I can't believe how much energy they use.
Yeah, which means they're going to be hotter.
Right, they're going to run hotter.
Which means your fans are going to have to run longer, or you're going to have to. If you're using them for mining, you have to think of that. I mean, I run my 1070s at about 50 or 60 on the fan.
Degrees Celsius.
Yeah, so I actually run the fans at like 65, 60% on my rig. Because I like to keep the temps below 62.
Okay.
And so I keep mine right about there. But I would love to have some of these RX Vegas, like the 56s, because they, just like the 1070s, do better than the 1080s against the Ethereum hash,
right?
The Dagger Hashimoto. These 56s are doing better than the 64s in the same kind of method. I don't know why.
Well, and the interesting thing gaming wise is that's the same thing all the reviewers have come to realize is the 56 is a much better buy for a gamer than a 64.
Yep.
The performance delta is around, after you overclock the 56, which is very easy to do, the performance delta is around 10%. You get a 10% increase on the 64 versus the 56.
Right.
But
for $100 more?
You're paying $100 more for that 10%. It's just not worth it.
Yep.
So that's what I mean. AMD has a winner in the 56, but a kind of a loser in the 64.
Yeah.
So I think now the other thing that they're going through right now, and the dust hasn't settled on this, so it's hard to report on it or talk about it, but there's a big kerfuffle about AMD price fixing their cards right now, saying a lot of people are saying, the first week they were out, they're going to be $399 and $499, but then they're going to go up to $599 and $499 respectively.
And also to try and curb demand, a lot of the stores that are selling them will sell the first one at $399 and the second one at $499, even for the 56s and stuff. Like the stores themselves have price gouged a little bit,
and that's what AMD is saying. They're saying, "Whoa, this isn't us. We tell the stores what we think they should be sold at,
right? And
then the stores sell them for whatever they think they want to." But the problem is, what I've been reading online from people is that, and other news outlets, is that AMD is not producing nearly enough standalone cards to keep up with demand.
Yeah.
But they're putting a lot of their cards into these bundles they've created that comes with 2 games,
right,
and or a coupon for a FreeSync monitor and things like that, and they charge an extra $100 for those.
Right.
And so people are getting really frustrated with the what's it called when it's not the same all the time?
Change?
No,
instability.
Not change. Instability of the pricing. Yeah. Thank you. And so, anyway, so it'll be interesting how that shakes out, what AMD does. But
I don't think it's going to see quite the stock boost that NVIDIA. Did you see the NVIDIA stock boost over since Ethereum hit mainstream, got some mainstream media news, and everybody started buying them? I think like May and June.
Sure.
Their stock was up like something like 51%.
It's crazy.
It was insane for NVIDIA.
NVIDIA stock has just gone up.
Like that was
almost exponentially over the last 2 years,
and that was almost a better investment than getting into crypto mining.
Yeah,
was
investing
just
in
the hardware behind it.
Wasn't there? Did we already talk about the giant conspiracy behind? I think Jaron was the one who first brought. It was one of you two that talked about the people who actually made money during the California gold rush. Wasn't the people going out to mine the gold? It was the pickaxe companies and the shovel companies.
I think it was Owen brought that up.
Yeah, one of the.
And I think it was me.
And there was a conspiracy.
Was it Jaron?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That the companies that actually helped to boost the Bitcoin economy was the graphics card.
I read about that, a few stories on that as well, and I mean, like all conspiracy theories, you got to take it with a grain of salt, but
There's a lot of grains of truth in that.
Exactly. Yeah. If NVIDIA were to sit there and just start investing in taking a bunch of their cards and having them run Ethereum just at their warehouses.
Or they just bought Ethereum with the profits of it.
Or that even.
They just bought it and they don't need to mine it.
That's true. They just need to buy it and drive the price up, and then people will buy more graphics cards to try and mine. So it's interesting. So the other factor, speaking of NVIDIA, that the Vega cards do is, here's the thing. The 1080 Ti and the Titan X, they're still king of the hill. If you want the best of the best graphics cards right now, they still outperform the Radeon 64s by like 20%. So NVIDIA was supposed to talk about releasing the Volta, the next generation of their graphics cards, either the end of the year or the beginning of next year. But
if they do that, AMD is screwed.
Well, they don't even really need to, because their cards have been out for 14 months already.
Still outperform it there,
and they're still equal or more performance versus the stuff that AMD's been working on for the last like 2 years.
Yeah, so
it says been out for 14 months.
Yeah.
So it says our initial testing showed both cards trailing an optimized GeForce GTX 1070 Founders Edition.
Isn't that crazy?
That is nuts to me. So, but they came out and they're like, oh well, we can't hit a home run, but we knocked it into center field.
Yeah. Let's go for a double
for the same price.
Yeah,
for the same price.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy that they're charging $399. Like AMD normally comes in at a lower price point,
right? And
they go, look, you're losing a little bit of the high end craziness, but you're saving $150,
right?
But they come in at the same price as the 1070.
Well, they're technically cheaper than 1070 right now because they're still
because
inflated.
Of the inflation. But the MSRP for a 1070 is $399,
right?
Like that's what you can buy it for when they're in stock,
right?
From NVIDIA.
So. Anyway, it's been interesting to see how that shakes out. I just got a private message from Jaron that says we should move on.
I agree with him.
He's bored.
I'm not afraid of my boredom. I'm afraid of the listeners' boredom.
Oh, they're enraptured at our fascinating talk about graphics cards.
Yeah.
Let's talk about. Well,
it was private. You weren't supposed to say it.
Should we just roll forward real quick and talk about CPUs? That'll be a quick one.
All right.
All right. So
take all of our medicine at once.
That's right. Take it all at once. Intel announced their 8th generation, which is pretty uncharacteristic of them because they keep their cards a little closer to the vest. Usually, they don't talk about the next gen so quickly after their current gen was just released.
This looks pretty good though,
and
especially when they're breaking their own mold again, right? I mean,
right.
This is the shrink, whatever they call it. What's their 3-stage?
Their stupid 3 stages they don't even seem like they're adhering to that they just talked about.
Yeah, it's like 5 stages now.
It really is. We've had 14 nanometer architecture for I think 3 years now plus. So anyway, NVIDIA is talking about their 8th generation processors, and your desktop versions it looks like are just going to be updated 7th gen stuff. But there are some new twists and turns that are interesting for the laptop.
Yeah, so they're
versions.
not really redoing the architecture. They're just throwing more cores and megahertz at it.
Which for the laptops, for the ultra low power stuff, like what's in your Surface Book and things like that, this is great finally because you've been limited to dual core.
That's not a bad thing, and they say that the battery life will remain the same. So that's interesting. That's a good improvement. They say like 30 to 40%.
I read they said 40 at first, and now they're saying 50.
No, they said 30 at first. Now it's 40.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So still, you're looking at a 40% gain in power with no loss of battery life. Yeah, that's great.
That is a very rare upgrade these days.
Yeah. So if that's the case on their laptop CPUs, awesome. Good job, Intel. You're probably still going to crush the competition in that aspect.
Yeah,
but
AMD sucks at laptops.
Yeah, they struggle at the laptop CPUs for sure. But as far as just iterating on your 7th gen architecture for your desktop stuff, you're not bringing anything special to the market there. They are going to have 6-core CPUs now, which it's really weird. Did you see how they're doing that? The i3 is going to be 4-core with hyperthreading. The i5 is going to be a 6 physical core with no hyperthreading.
What?
Yeah.
Weird.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
And then the i7 is going to be 6-core with hyperthreading, so 12 logical streams of data. So your i3 will actually have more streams of data than your i5, but there'll be virtual streams of data with hyperthreading. So I don't know. It'll be interesting how that shakes out. They're just really kind of, it feels like to me they're kind of scrambling to catch up with, which is a weird thing to say.
Just the hype train though. It's not performance. Just they're trying to beat the PR of they're like
they're scrambling to catch up with the PR and the hype train of the Ryzen stuff because. But
and the new Threadripper, right? Like
on the other hand, though, when you look at the Ryzen stuff versus the Intel stuff on their mainstream, the Ryzen 5, Ryzen 7, i5, i7, if you're looking at it from a working standpoint, the Ryzen crushes Intel stuff because it has more threads and can do more compute.
Plus the price point.
Yep. But if you're looking strictly at gaming, which a lot of people are, Intel still comes out on top with the 7700K. Because it's
optimized,
and it's all about clock speed, and they just push more megahertz than AMD for a lot of games. It just comes out a little bit better. So anyway, Intel kind of surprised everyone by announcing that stuff this early, but that's still, I think, what did the announcement say? Like a year away plus, something around there.
So in Intel's video that they're using to hype the 8th generation core processors, there's a black Surface Book in there.
Ooh.
And it looks sexy.
Very
nice looking. Here it is.
See, I would love a that looks real good.
Yeah.
I would love a quad core, finally a true quad core Surface Book.
Yeah.
That was my only complaint with these Surface Books that they have us use at work now is dual core instead of quad core. Other than that, everything else it has is really good.
I love the trackpad on the Surface Books. They're great.
It's very good. It's almost as good as Apple.
I'd say it's as good.
Would you?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. James, is there anything else you want to... Oh, James, you wanted to talk about Age of Empires, it looks like.
Yeah. If you guys are interested, like I was in...
Put your Switch away and participate.
There's a game that I just barely saw that came out last March that's right up my alley. I love anything pertaining to, like, sim-type games.
Is it that dad dating sim?
No. What?
What?
That's on Steam, not on Switch.
No.
Is that a dad joke against James?
No. It's a sim where it's a dating sim where you try to date dads.
Oh, I thought it was an app where you tried to find your dad.
No. You really threw James off guard here.
Anyway,
yeah, he totally lost his train of thought. What game?
It's called New Frontier Days. It's on the Switch apparently. But what I wanted to talk about was, if you're like me, playing Age of Empires was awesome, and apparently they're bringing Age of Empires back. Age of Empires 4, it was announced today.
Nice.
So that's fun.
I also read that they're going to redo 2 and 3.
That would be fantastic.
Like
Two's the best
versions.
one so far. 3's all right.
There was no gameplay video, though.
No,
it was
only an
bunch
announcement.
of pictures.
They pulled a Nintendo Metroid.
Freaking Metroid, man. I hate how that overshadowed the Scorpio.
Yeah, that was kind of annoying.
When it was just a title.
A title screen overshadowed all this cool stuff about new hardware.
Speaking of Scorpio, it went up for pre-order.
Indeed.
How much did you guys end up dropping on it?
$500.
Another $499.
Yeah.
So
I want one so bad. Money.
Well, you all talked over each other at once.
I want one so bad.
Okay, James?
So expensive.
Jaron?
Plus tax.
Okay. Jeez.
You want to know what the sad thing is, though? We just barely got back from San Francisco, and that's like a 2-night hotel stay right there. I could have just paid for it in cash.
Yeah.
Boom. But now, because we're entangled in buying our second house, I am so incredibly hungry right now, and I don't know how I'm not going to drive directly to Mo Betta's after this.
Well,
let's go.
That sounds frustrating.
I spent all my
being for real with me?
I spent all my money.
Go? Oh, okay, then well, screw that. I'm going.
I spent all my Xbox Scorpio, Xbox One X.
Unless you win
on GPUs
at fantasy football, call back. Take a look at our Facebook page.
$50.
Which, by the
He'll
way,
win.
have you signed up yet? I sent it to you.
He'll win
No.
10% of the cost of the Scorpio from James.
10%,
So
which
if-
I'll probably just spend on fast food. Let's be honest.
If you pre-ordered it, you get a Project Scorpio Special Edition. So
Yeah.
it comes with a vertical stand. It says Project Scorpio on the Xbox and the
What?
controller.
It's got the old name.
Yeah.
Oh,
Code name.
And it has a really cool paint job, which actually does look cooler than the
What color is
average
the paint job?
Xbox One X.
Oh, I might have to do
It's,
this.
it's black.
It's
I
black,
didn't-
but it has like white speckles or something
Yeah.
like
I'm
that.
See,
going
I
to
didn't-
sell my motorcycle to get this.
I
That's
did
it.
not
I've decided.
love
Do it.
the Xbox One S. This is his color, the
I
white.
love that color.
Nope.
Oh, I think the One S is a very
Nope.
pretty console.
Consoles have to be black, or else they detract from the ambiance of your TV.
No,
Vault.
because mine's behind a cabinet, so I don't even see it. I'm very excited for the One
So
X.
it's overheating in a cabinet?
No, the PS4 overheats. The Xbox does not.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I have to whenever I play the PS4, I have to open my cabinet. When I play anything else, I just leave it closed.
Interesting.
Yep. But I'm very excited for the One X.
Yeah, I think it has a lot of potential, especially since Microsoft has already committed to, and this is, I'm going to use air quotes here that you can't see, over 100 Xbox One X enhanced games. Obviously, that won't be out of the gate, but I think it's within the first 6 months or something like that.
They have pretty good support. I think
And
it's just as good or better than the PS4 Pro.
I would say it's better than the PS4 Pro, and I think that's because they learned their lesson watching Sony and how people complained about there not being enough PS4 Pro enhanced titles to make it worth buying the PS4 Pro. So I think Microsoft is just sitting there throwing money
And
at
so-
devs to say, make it better for the One X.
Yeah, like Rise of the Tomb Raider, that's being updated for the One X.
Yep.
And it's even going many steps further than the PS4 Pro version.
Yeah.
Because it has HDR, which the PS4 Pro version does not.
Yep.
Better resolution, better frame rate. It looks like a really, really good update.
They're saying it's going to have native 4K. I find that hard to believe, honestly, but if they do, dang.
I know.
Because the PS4 Pro had checkerboarded 4K, which, I'm a PC Master Race guy, but everything I've seen about how checkerboarding works when it's done well, you get 95% of the fidelity of native resolution at much less cost on the hardware. So
Yeah.
that's
See,
pretty cool.
And I just like the friending system on Xbox a little bit more, and the controller feel.
And I like the
Oh.
dashboard too a
The
lot.
controller's the best on Xbox,
So
if you ask me.
the PS4 has been my default console for all third-party games, but that's switching as of right now.
Buying them on.
Any future game I'm going to buy is going to be for the Xbox.
Yep.
What's the
Unless
difference?
it's first party.
What's the difference in price between the PSN and Xbox Live?
Well, they're the same price, MSRP, but you can always find a cheaper Xbox Live sale. Sony does not
As
put-
much lately. It's
Not as much lately.
It doesn't feel that way.
Do they offer any free games month to month?
yeah.
Yeah,
Are they
they
as
both
good
do.
of games?
It seems like it trades off.
Yeah.
I would say in general the Xbox freebie games are better than the PS4
They
ones.
have been in the past, but PS4 has been better lately.
But lately, yeah, PS4 has kind of stepped up their game a little bit. I mean, last month, or is it this month? It was Just Cause 3.
Just Cause 3, they did Until Dawn.
Those
previous
are great.
month.
Good games.
Yeah.
So
on the PS4.
yeah, the Xbox One free games lately have been kind of poopy, if I'm being completely honest. You
Yeah.
disappointed me there, Microsoft. Come on, step it up.
But I'm excited. Halo 5 is being updated. Titanfall 2 is being updated.
Yeah.
All games that I have already. So
There was
that's
like
great.
a 6 gig patch that just dropped on Battlefield 1 today, apparently.
Battlefield
My buddy-
1, big update today, but they're also getting HDR on Battlefield 1.
Nice.
Which is really nice.
on the PS4
As
too.
if that game already didn't look good enough.
I don't know if it's system specific. I would think it wouldn't be, because anything that supports HDR, it should work.
Well,
I would think.
I'm sure it's different supporting it on different systems.
But
That's a way to take a look at it with a glass half empty.
Yeah.
the other thing that they announced as well is 6 new multiplayer maps. So
For free?
probably not. This is EA we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Come
Hey,
on.
they said Battlefront 2 updates will be free. And Titanfall 2 updates have been free.
All right, that's a good point. It might be free, but I wouldn't bet on it. I didn't read the whole article.
There's the glass half full, Tony, that we were talking about.
It's
You've changed in the chat. You've been a lot more positive as of lately.
trying to be a supportive friend.
Or at least the week before I left to San Francisco, you were.
I was still positive this week about
You guys
your
barely
Final Fantasy,
talked
or I mean
this
your
week.
fantasy football.
Because we were all gone on vacation.
We were all on vacation last week.
Yeah, except for Owen.
Sorry,
I was
buddy.
on vacation.
You were? Where'd you go?
I went down to St. George.
Really?
Yeah, I went to the Tuacon.
Wasn't it like 120 degrees down there?
Yeah, way too hot. I don't know how humans survive down there, but they apparently do.
I would have.
And they have
gladly made a
civilization
trade-off.
down there too.
They were cave dwellers definitely before air conditioning. Gotta be. So that's all I can.
We hunt at
understand.
night.
Yeah, sand people.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, we want to touch on good old Android O.
Yeah, they took the opportunity during the eclipse today that was the big craze to announce Android O.
Worst time for an announcement.
Why would they try and fight a solar eclipse? I just didn't understand.
You can't beat the sun.
No. Anyway, they announced
It's
the release.
unstoppable.
They released the Android O, stands for Oreo. I read through some of the updates. It seems like it's going to be pretty cool. It addresses some of the stuff. So it's coming out for the Pixel XL. I'm assuming it's going to be released on the new Pixel phones and going forward.
It's also on the Nexus 6P.
And the 5X. So I'm excited. I almost enrolled my phone in the beta program again so I could get the pre-release of it before it pushes out.
No, it's out.
I haven't got the
phone.
My phone always takes forever to get it. I don't know why. It hasn't prompted me. It says, "Hey, you have a major system upgrade to go through."
The OTA is available right now.
Oh, good. So if you haven't gotten it yet on your Pixel XL, Nexus 5X, or the 6P, and you want it, I tested this with what's the latest one? Was it Nougat?
7.1.1.
Yeah.
Nougat.
And you push yourself, you go and you log in, you enroll your phone in the beta. It'll automatically push the update, and then you pull yourself out of the beta. And if normally when you do that, it will wipe your phone when you back out of a beta.
Yeah.
But I have found that when it's already released, it won't wipe your phone.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So for you 1% of people who have Pixels,
Yeah.
enjoy it. And
I'm waiting for the next Pixel phone to come out. That's my next phone. I'm getting that. Was it coming out this fall?
They'll probably announce
Pixel
it in
2?
October or September.
Yeah, that's my next phone. I'm getting it for my birthday.
Your
pricey.
birthday phone.
My
You
birthday.
should buy a Xbox One X instead.
Birthday!
This phone's been driving me crazy.
You know what we should do? We should start a GoFundMe for your Xbox One.
We should. What's sad enough to get people to buy me an Xbox One?
Let's see what you look like
that's
without
like-
a shirt on.
Yeah,
That's
that'd
like
work. That'd work.
those GoFundMes for people that just want to buy something.
Yeah.
I really want to buy a car. I'm going to have a GoFundMe.
Millennials.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
happened
It's
with
mostly-
people in their
I feel-
houses and
I'm-
stuff. And
I have FOMO though. Like it's working though. Like millennials are putting this stuff up and getting like this guy made that. You heard about the crazy one for the guy that wanted to get a really good potato salad recipe, and made like $20,000 and ended up writing a
Because
book.
that was funny.
Yeah, that was more of a joke.
And he didn't really use the money.
Well, me without my shirt off is funny, so I could probably get a little bit.
dude,
of
it's
chive
crazy
there.
how bad a FOMO you get when we were the ones that pressured Jaron into doing the cryptocurrency. with
Yeah,
us.
you didn't know. You weren't there. I pined. I paced. They're all doing it. Tony and James are doing it. Tony, I expected. He makes smart decisions. When James did it, and James was like, yeah, I'm doing it. I was like, now I really want to.
Why was I the deciding? I was
because
like the cornerstone.
because if James can crypto mine, then I could
What
do
do
it.
you mean if James can crypto mine?
Don't worry about it. Just think about it later. Yeah, it'll get you.
Oh, he's put his mic down. He's taking his headphones off.
He won't think about it later. He'll forget.
I was just really jealous when you got into it, and I went, I wish I could do that. And
here you are. You're
Hold up. Am I one of those people?
okay. Try to put your
Am
headphones.
I one of those
There
people
you
that you
go.
guys are like, well, if James is
No.
doing it,
I think that was pretty obvious. Was
Yeah,
what
that's
Owen
what I
said.
thought.
yeah, I
what
mean
I
that's what I said, but
Don't worry, James. When I don't see you, I don't even think about you. You're not. You don't even enter my brain.
I'm gonna go hang out with Simon. Simon's nice to me.
Hey, you sit down in that chair. And you get back here with your capris.
Why did he roll his pants up?
I don't know, but they look like he's wearing capris.
It does.
Anyway,
James and his capris.
Android O, I'm gonna get it. Maybe it'll help. It's supposed to help with a lot of the crap on the phones.
It is.
That is like background apps.
Yep.
Have just, like I said, I pulled my battery. I did the battery swap for my Nexus 6P
Right.
because it was dying at 24% and just turning off. Had all the problems, and it happened, of course, like a week after the
warranty
it went up.
Ugh.
And then people that did have the warranty were like, they'd call Huawei, Huawei would be like, that's Google's problem. They'd call Google and they'd be like, nah, that's Huawei's problem.
Really?
Oh, it's just you couldn't
Google
get it.
needs to figure out their support.
Yeah,
that's
they
terrible.
they just kick it around because like that's not us. We're not paying for that.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I wonder if James is going to come back.
James!
No, he says he's coming back.
See, he has like the mind of a hamster.
He can stay away. He probably already forgot that we were making fun of him.
Exactly.
I think the other thing we want to hit on is we got a BS.
We do got a BS.
So
it's actually pretty cool.
We'll do that, but I do want to hit on before then this Drone Hive Tower.
So
action.
We talked about Amazon making their beehive tower in the middle of a city, right? And that's going to be their drone headquarters. And Walmart, not to be outshone by Amazon, they're in this weird battle right now. You've seen their Walmart did their free 2-day shipping,
right,
for anything over $35.
Yep,
and which put that's a shot over the bow for Amazon
big time.
Because Walmart's a big supplier of all sorts of products, not just. I mean, they're getting into grocery and everything. I mean, they've got grocery and
and here's the thing with Walmart too is if they played their cards right and did this correctly, they could ship all of their stuff out of their store locations.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Each store has
They've
a warehouse.
already got the brick and mortar. They can do the site, and they already have site to store set up.
Mm-hmm.
But they could just. I mean, I already pay for the grocery service. I just order all my groceries online, show up. The ladies come out with a cart and fill my trunk, and
that's awesome.
And it's no extra charge. You just call them ahead of time, and you're like, yeah.
Oh, they redid their website too. Looks like Amazon.
Yeah. So you pull up, and they're like, we couldn't find this, so we substituted it. And there's been many times that I've gotten a better product because they were out of the cheaper one that I ordered, and they're like, we just upgraded it for you, and it was no extra charge and whatever.
Nice.
So the grocery delivery, if you hate walking through the store buying groceries, and it's so much easier because you can meal plan and like order it anyway.
Yeah.
So Amazon not to be outdone by. Or Walmart, not to be outdone by Amazon's Beehive Tower drone thing, has decided to file a patent for gigantic hindenburgs. I mean blimps, gas powered blimps.
Hopefully they're not full of hydrogen.
Yeah, hopefully not. But they're gas powered blimps that will fly at 1,000 feet over a populous area, I guess is the idea, and be a house for drones to go into and grab packages and deliver. There's a lot of hype.
Interesting.
There's a lot of hype behind this new drone delivery idea, and everybody's trying to get in and make sure they've got their foot in the door just in case it becomes less stupid to do.
Mm-hmm.
So
you'd be talking about like basically it would be the equivalent of Walmart has a big list of packages they need to deliver that day. They load a blimp up with these packages and drones, and the drone just flies over these towns,
hovers,
and sends its drones out with the packages, drops them off, drones come back, charge, and then go out again. That's interesting.
Yeah, because you can, unlike Amazon's brick and mortar idea of building a tower, they can take that blimp and they can do populated areas. It's like
they don't have to pay for land.
No,
they don't have to pay for
taxes
on the land.
Mm-mm.
It's all just self-contained. I mean, as long as it had enough safety redundancies.
Till I shoot it down with a 50 caliber, which is what's going to happen. I mean,
probably.
We were talking about this. We were talking about this earlier. That on the email video is that like people just they will do the most heinous thing possible just because they can.
Yep.
Like we were talking about that on the internet, like that type of idea being. So somebody's going to shoot down this blimp just because they can.
Right. Just to say they did.
They're like, I got out my 50 caliber and I took that down at 1,000 feet.
It'll be some redneck in the Appalachian Mountains.
They won't do it to
some
steal.
Hillbilly.
They won't do it to steal all the packages. They might,
did you
but
see I got that one, Jim
but
Bob?
yeah, they're just going to shoot it down. And it'll be funny when it happens.
So hopefully they prevent that. I'm sure that if the FAA has any brains, which, well, okay, maybe so this won't happen. But they would make Walmart build in redundancies against things like that.
How do you bulletproof a blimp?
I don't know.
Filled with helium, which is also a depleted natural resource. What are they going to fill these balloons with?
That's a good question too.
Because they're not going to. I mean, we're already dipping into the federal government's helium reserve just to fill up balloons' birthdays.
What if they did like hot air?
Oh yeah,
They
maybe
could do hot air.
Yeah.
Maybe
Just harness all the politicians.
that's a lot of hot air.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's hit up. Unless there's something else you guys want to talk about. We'll
Yeah,
end-
you pretty much skipped all of my subjects, but that's okay.
So we'll end on the B. Just kidding. What was it? Tesla. Yeah, I did skip that one. And
Yeah.
Essentials phone. And okay, Jaren.
Essentials phone is actually pretty interesting. I want to
guys,
hear about that.
Is it
it's-
Jaren's turn?
It's Jaren's turn.
Yeah.
Jaren time.
All right, so the Essential phone is out. If you don't remember, this is Andy Rubin's new phone. He is the creator of Android.
Yeah.
He started his own company called Essential, and they're valued at over $1 billion already, even though they haven't sold a single thing yet.
How does that happen?
I don't know.
I'm gonna start a company. I just started a company. Where's my money?
Here's $1 billion.
Oh,
Hey.
perfect.
How many of you guys actually do own your own company? Do any of you guys own a company?
No.
I do.
I set up a company once.
And?
Yeah, I made some money from a business competition, but we didn't do anything with it.
Oh.
Anyway, Essential phone. So it's almost bezel-less. It has no bezels on the left, right, and top part of the phone. It has a little like U shape for the camera, but there is a slight bezel at the bottom. It's made of ceramic, which is amazing. Very hard to do in huge quantities. Since they're a tiny company, they can get away with it. And it has a great-looking screen. It has a okay camera. And people are reviewing it now. It's out, and it's a pretty good phone.
It's got all.
What processors are running on?
I was gonna say it's
And
got all
OS.
the flagship
yeah,
specs,
all
right?
all the flagship stuff.
835.
835, 4 gigs of RAM. Has a system where you could like clip on different accessories, so they could put on a
modular system.
Yeah, so you could put on like a 360-degree camera on there. It just like magnetizes to the top.
I assume it's running Android.
Runs Android, of course.
So
stock Android.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Since
That's the
Andy
new big
Rubin,
thing.
since Andy Rubin is the Android creator, did he try to fork Android into something else?
He did not, and he promises software updates for 2 years. I wish it were 3. 2 years isn't horrible though. But this is their first product in a big lineup. They're hoping to put out a bunch of other smart home type stuff that's all connected by a new OS. What was
Just
that?
keep going. Just keep talking.
So it looks like a promising phone. The only downside would be it doesn't have the best camera out there, but not many phones do. So
What is the best camera out there?
There's like 2 King of the Hill cameras right now.
no, I'd say there's 3.
3,
So
yeah.
the Pixel and then HTC, their new phone has an awesome camera. Actually, there's probably 4. Samsung has a really good camera too, and then Apple.
Yeah,
What about the Red's phone? I guess it's not
that
out.
phone's not
Yep.
out yet.
That
Not
phone
out.
doesn't exist. So the Essential phone, check it out.
Yeah,
It's on Sprint right now. I
How
think
much-
you could get it for like $260
Oh,
off or something like that.
It's locked.
I don't know if it's locked, but Sprint
Well-
is specifically selling it.
Selling it, right?
Yeah, I think you can get one that's unlocked.
Why would you tie yourself to that
Sprint.
garbage network?
Yeah, I think Palm learned their lesson on that one.
Jeez. Sprint is
That
the
might
worst.
be tempting, and that's kind of the new way that a lot of phone companies are, like the phone builders, are going to do stock Android. Even Verizon and those guys are starting to pull away from.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, you get
You know.
stock, but they still put all their
Yeah.
bloatware
Yeah.
crap apps on there.
That's one of the things I really liked about the Nexus 6P
Mhm.
and switching to a full-on Google is that they just didn't. They didn't have any. You didn't have to buy into that.
Yep. All right, let's keep going with Jaren time.
Hey,
Model 3 talk.
Model 3.
Or do we do the game real quick and then Model 3?
What game?
Just mention that Jurassic World got announced.
Oh, yeah, that game looks kind of cool. It was at Gamescom. It's kind of like a theme park simulator type game, but in Jurassic Park world.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
like,
it
could
looks
be-
really cool.
Could be good.
Like Zoo Tycoon, but
Yeah,
Oh,
Basically.
okay.
but with Jurassic
cool.
Park. Or world.
Okay, so brief announcement there. Model 3 now. Oh man,
I think I'm 75% going to buy this.
wow.
Up from 60% last episode.
Oh man.
A few more episodes. I
You'll
may
be-
have one pre-ordered.
Soon you'll be at 120%, and you'll already have 2 pre-ordered.
Whoa.
So the Model 3 is Tesla's latest creation to finally see the light of day,
It's been knocking it out of the park, right?
and so far it has been killing it.
Yeah.
I want to say I feel like they were less than upfront about the pricing, but they never said. I don't know. They did the typical thing where starting at $35K, but for well equipped ones, you're looking more like 50s,
50,
45, 50.
Felt like I expected that, so I'm not sure why you're surprised.
Yeah, you're right, but I don't know. It's still kind of a bummer.
It's because Elon, as an innovator, we were like, could he be crazy enough to sell a car this cool for $35,000? And realistically, you can't.
So Tesla has the hard job of trying to hype the Model 3 while making its current products that are twice as expensive
seem
still
relevant
sell. Yeah. And so this site, Tesla Motors Club, it's kind of speculation, but everything they say makes so much sense, and the evidence is completely there that it's pretty much going to happen. So they have a new version of autopilot hardware.
They call it Autopilot 2.5.
2.5. Their current cars are 2.1. The Model S, the Model X.
I thought they were 2.0.
2.0, 2.1, something like that. But they say anything that's 2.0, 2.1 is capable of full autonomous driving.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone's wondering, why does the Model 3 get 2.5? What's better about the Model 3? Well, it has to do with ride sharing. And in the past, Tesla has talked about their aspirations of having a ride-sharing network of autonomous cars. Whoa. So it's like an Uber without a driver.
So cool.
Yeah.
So Tesla's going to kill Lyft and Uber and start their own?
Yes.
Well,
dude, I'm not going to lie.
Competition, but yeah.
So we went to San Francisco, which, as you know, is the birthplace of Uber. I don't know if it's the birthplace, but it's where the headquarters is.
Now.
Every, fifth car is Uber or something like that?
Yeah, it's in big cities, it's crazy. It's like that.
But if I could get into a car and not have to talk to the driver, fantastic.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Right?
And so you wonder, how can Tesla do this? How can they have a ride-sharing network without drivers? Well, first of all, they need to get their autonomous driving working. Once that happens, though, it's pretty evident that the Model 3 is completely set up for this. And so there's a few things that you need in a car for this to happen. A, if it's your car, you don't want people getting into your trunk and glove box where there might be valuables, right? B, you need some sort of system that records people if they damage your car.
Wait, so is this like I would buy the car and then if I'm at home for the evening, I would just turn my car on?
Send it out.
And that would help to pay for my lease or something?
It will make money for you, yes.
Pays your car payment.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Which I've also heard an argument as to putting billboard ads on the side of your car.
Yeah, that's been floating around for a long time, and there's a few companies that will do that. They'll sell you a billboard or a wrap to put on your car and then pay you X amount of dollars per month.
Yeah, there's that, and then there's also the car dealerships that just freaking solder on their car dealership onto the back of the car.
They do that anyway. That's just standard feature for them.
Isn't that weird that they can just do that?
Yeah.
Brent Brown Toyota. You bought it at Brent Brown.
I want everyone to know that.
Everybody his name's Brent Brown.
So after reading this, I want this car more.
I know, it looks so cool.
That's the problem.
So,
the interior looks fantastic.
Before this article, I was like, you know what? That Model 3 looks really cool. And after this article, I'm just drooling over it.
So it makes sense why their interior is so Spartan now, because everything is controlled by software. Opening the doors, opening the glove compartment, opening the trunk,
starting the car.
Starting the car,
your
too.
key is a digital key on your phone.
Yeah.
And the reason it's so Spartan is because everything is controlled by software. It can adapt to whoever goes into the car. So you have your Tesla app on your phone with your own preferences built into the Tesla app.
Things like mirror positioning, seat placement,
where the air conditioning blows on your face.
How much did you say this car is?
Oh my gosh!
And I'll get to that.
Okay.
So you get into the car with your phone. It's not your car, but it knows everything about you. It knows where to blow the air conditioning. It knows where you want the seat. It knows where you want to go.
It knows where you want the steering wheel placement.
And didn't they just say that all your settings will be now saved in the cloud?
Saved in the cloud.
Anywhere you go.
So basically, as you walk up to the car that you are ride-sharing with, it recognizes your phone and says, oh, Tony's coming. Let's make the settings all do this before he gets in.
And that is why it doesn't have a key. Because it uses your phone and it's setting itself up to be a ride-sharing car.
Isn't that crazy that the government didn't have to come and scan our reticles or take our fingerprints, but we have willingly given up our autonomy to our phones?
Yeah, can you believe that? First of all, what the heck's a reticle?
Your not your reticle. Your
retina.
Retina.
Oh, okay.
I think reticle is a word, though. I'm going to give you points for reticle.
Reticle is usually what they use to sight a gun, a target reticle.
So something in their press photos, which they didn't announce, was this tiny little camera above the rear view mirror. And people were wondering, why is that camera there? That's kind of weird. Well, it's for this ride-sharing network.
So I can watch.
Theoretically.
If someone destroys your car,
you'll know who it is.
You'll know who it is. And since you would have to have the Tesla app on your phone, it's tied to that specific person. And so you'll be able to tell through the camera who destroyed my car. So there's...
Get to the price.
So
I want to know. So bad.
We talked about it last episode.
Yeah, well, it's 35,000 starting and 50,000 if you want the
question.
good stuff.
35,000. Let's take the base price, right? How much is that month to month? Quick math.
35,000 is probably, I don't know.
For what, a 5-year loan or a 6-year loan?
Let's go 5-year. Conventional 5-year.
Oh, he's getting a calculator out. Worst accountant ever.
Hey, I'm an accountant.
Best rebuttal ever.
Okay, so your monthly payment is
$583.
$583
for a 5-year loan.
Relatively.
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, this doesn't count.
But.
So it costs more than $35,000. If you want full autonomous driving,
yeah, you got to go up to like 50.
You need an extra $10,000 on that.
Yeah. Owen,
so it'd be at least $45,000 if you want the higher mileage.
Let's just go with the highest one. Let's go $55,000.
Okay. I think
no,
how much?
60.
60.
Okay, 60.
No, 59.
55. Just do 55.
59.
Whatever. Okay, what are we at? Probably somewhere around the ballpark of 600, 650?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, how much? Because I don't know about you guys, but I would not pay $650 for a car.
A month.
Which, by the way, it's got to be, well, whatever.
Here's the thing, though.
When that comes out, how much would you have to make?
$1,000 right there.
It's $1,000. Yeah, because I was going to say that doesn't.
I was like, no.
$600.
I was like, no. It's $1,000 per month. So how much? So you're saying how much would you
Tesla have to pay you for you to buy the car? And that's not even counting, I'm sure, the install kit into your house.
Here's the thing. You got to factor in as well if you have a down payment. If you have a down payment, that lowers your monthly price.
Okay, let's say like you have no down payment.
Also factor in if it was me, I wouldn't do a 5-year loan. I'd probably do like a 7 or an 8-year loan.
Would you put a $60,000 investment out on the road as a taxi?
If I had good insurance, why not?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, and I mean,
it's not like they're driving it.
If there's damage to the car, that's the person's fault. They'll pay for it.
That's unproven, though. Like, the ability to... there's no laws in existence right now that are going to be able to prove like, that's a new area. So
here's the way Tesla covers that is to operate in the ride-sharing program, you sign a terms of service agreement.
Right. Yep.
If you damage the car, you agree to pay for the repairs.
Right.
So
it's just the same thing as taking a credit card at a hotel room.
The only question that remains, what if the car gets into an accident and it's the autopilot's fault?
Right. Who's to blame?
What happens there?
That's a good question.
And like specifically, there's loss of life or.
Can you imagine getting a notification on your phone, like from your Tesla app, like your car has just been in an automobile accident.
Your car killed 5 people.
It's like,
you're going to jail.
That is the worst.
Manslaughter.
But I wasn't driving.
You sent it out. That's actually more legal shaky ground.
Yeah,
that's
the liability
right there
is crazy. I don't know what's going to happen.
So how much would they have to pay you? If it was $1,000, let's just say $1,000 a month.
They'd have to pay at least 50% of that.
Because there's no way I can afford $1,000 car payment.
Yeah,
so
even 500 would be nuts. But yeah, it'd have to be at least 500. If I had enough money to get that, then I assume I have enough.
You
money.
mean at most 500?
Yeah,
yeah. That's the most I would be able to.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I would probably do a 7+ year car loan because, first of all, theoretically, that car should last a lot longer than a gasoline car because there's no moving parts in an engine. So you're going to save on maintenance and you're going to have a car that lasts longer. Now, yes, that could be offset by batteries that don't last as long, but Tesla's guarantee on the batteries is really long.
What's the guarantee on their batteries?
On the X?
I think it's like 60 to 100,000 miles.
And how much are you going to be paying in your energy bill for the car?
Well, see, that's another factor to consider. So there are a lot of factors that play into this, but if it were me... The other thing is Tesla cars hold their value very well. So you could do a 7-year loan and just pay down on it. And when you go to sell it or whatever, you could probably get what you owe on it still. And you wouldn't be out, you wouldn't be upside down.
Can you imagine a question about your car in the future is going to be, how many user-driven miles are on this car?
Yeah.
Isn't that a weird thing to think about? Like...
So if you opted into the ride sharing, you need $17 a day to get $500 a month. So that's like one.
That'd be like 1 or 2 trips a day.
Yeah.
Well, especially here in Utah, we were talking to our Uber driver as opposed to our Californian drivers, and they don't even offer Uber Pool here, which you do all the time in California because there's so many drivers. But apparently in Utah's legislation, if you're coming from the airport, you can't make more than $25 in a trip, which is weird.
That is weird.
And you can't make more than $400 in a single trip.
Weird.
So just remember, all of this is take with a grain of salt. None of it's been confirmed. It's just the evidence so far points toward this being very high possibility.
Are you going to get a Tesla?
Tesla has confirmed that they will be doing ride sharing.
Yeah.
Oh, have they?
Yeah.
And
I did not know that.
And the X and the S are going to be excluded from it based on this article.
Yep. And what they haven't confirmed is how it will work in the Model 3. So all this article is detailing is how the current hardware that exists in the Model 3 will work.
And that makes a lot more sense, too, because like you said earlier, $60,000 car, that's expensive to be putting out there for something like that.
That's a risk.
But that is nothing compared to a $130,000 car if you were to do it with a Model S.
Like nobody's driving in there. Like they jump up there and they wreck your car and you have to deal with all the insurance. Like what a headache even on top of all that.
For sure. But yeah, it's definitely much more feasible with a $50,000 or $60,000 car.
So are you buying a Tesla?
I really want to.
Why don't you?
I don't think I could do the full 60,000 though. No way.
Why not?
If I did it, it'd probably be 40 at most.
The 7-year loan is $714 a month if you did just base, $60,000, and you pay down on that or whatever. You're gonna.
Does that $60,000 include the base station?
No.
No.
The charging station. No.
How much are the charging stations?
I'm not sure.
Does it not come with one?
No, I think it's like $1,000 or something like that.
Jeez.
I'm gonna find out.
Crazy,
dude. That's like that's more than half the price of my first house.
Well, see, the other thing is you factor in the economics of an electric car versus a gasoline car with
overtime.
Yeah. The premium you pay for the electric car, it equals out to be for a lot of people like 7 years worth of gas.
Yeah.
And it's true. So at that point, it's like you're not really saving anything. Yeah, you're being better on the environment.
That's what they paint that with.
Right.
When math doers actually go do the math, and they're like, wait a second.
Yeah,
this is the same thing as buying a normal gas car.
Right.
But I'm doing. Then they're like, but
you're saving the
let's
environment.
give you a little icon down in the bottom right, tell you how many trees you've saved in the last year.
Hey, that's what my thermostat does.
Oh,
The other thing about that, too, is you factor in the impact on the environment for the manufacturer of these cars versus the manufacturer of a gasoline car. And there are a lot more things that go into these electric cars that don't have to go into the gasoline cars that are also stripping the environment of things like...
They're just
like
moving.
megabytes.
They're just moving it.
Yeah,
they're just relocating.
You're relocating your carbon footprint from... out the tailpipe to up front on the assembly line
at the coal plant.
At the coal, because you're still a lot of your power in America is still coming from coal or things like that. The other factor too is these lithium-ion batteries use these rare earth metals that are definitely a limited resource as well that require invasive mining procedures to build these batteries for these cars. So I mean, you're really kind of in my head. You're 6 of one or half a dozen of the other.
Yeah, but by that reasoning, you shouldn't buy produce.
No. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it for that reason. I'm just saying if you look at it purely from a number standpoint, it's still not to the point where it is a clear victory over gasoline cars.
Well, the latest BS could solve that.
Yeah,
but really quickly, the wall connector for the Tesla supercharger is $500. Not that bad.
That's not bad at all.
Well, and the other thing you're getting when you buy a Tesla is you're getting a really, really cool experience.
Yeah.
It's like a spaceship.
Yeah, you're paying for the experience.
It's the ultimate gadget.
And for a lot of people, that's worth the extra money right there.
How many of you guys have actually ridden in one?
I've ridden in one.
I think Jaren's the only one.
Yeah.
There's a startup car company up in Salt Lake. We were talking to our Uber driver about. He apparently leases them out on a day-to-day if you want. It's like $100 a day.
What kind of cars?
They just do Teslas.
Oh, okay.
But you have to be over 30 and you got to have a good driving record. They do like a background check with your driving record.
Over
and stuff.
30?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So my friend has a completely specced out Model S. And
how much did you drop on it? Do you know?
Well, you can just go on the website.
You could look it up. But the acceleration in that thing is like a roller coaster. It's insane.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the BS is the Ioniq Ionic Materials. It's they found a new way to. So we have our alkaline batteries, right? They're solid, they're safe, they're pretty good. We have our lithium ion, which is like a liquid based, right? And they're more dangerous and whatever. And we've been trying to find for years a mix between the hard, safe batteries that can also be recharged and the unstable, hot, liquid batteries that are more power.
Okay.
Explodable,
right?
Explodable, but better at recharging and
the solid batteries are more powerful. They hold more charge.
Yeah. They're just not as rechargeable. They can't be reused.
Yeah, the problem with the solid batteries right now is every time you charge it, it weakens the cellular structure of that solid state battery, whereas the liquid ones can be recharged more times and it doesn't weaken it as much.
So the new one is the BS here, and this actually has a little bit of traction behind it because it's already a polymer that's out there. But
sure it does.
Ionic Materials is the company, and there's a guy named Bill Joy, and he's been a long time investor. He's actually a very renowned tech enthusiast out there. He was talking about the Internet of Things 20 years ago. Like, he's been a big innovator, and they're announcing kind of this new battery where it's it's a solid that still has the staying power of the liquid, like in lithium ion. And they actually, in the video, and this will be in the show notes, but in the video they show it getting shot, the battery getting shot by a 22 caliber bullet 3 times, and it's still staying charged and working with the phone.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty crazy stuff.
It's the same deal that the inventor of the lithium ion did. We did a BS on this like a few months ago.
Yeah.
The guy that was in his 80s or something.
Yeah.
They also like stabbed that battery, which was also a solid electrolyte. So it sounds like a similar technology.
What's the does it say what the catalyst element is in there? Like in lithium ion, it's obviously lithium metal.
There's a specific name. It does mention it here. I'm just trying to find it, but it
says you have just a plastic, a polymer that replaces the liquid, and then they say that you could use materials similar to like lithium ions, like the actual lithium part of a lithium ion.
Because that's, like I said earlier, that's one of those elements that we are going to eventually run out of. And I have no idea. I haven't looked into it what kind of the estimated world store of lithium is. But if you think about it, it's in all of our gadgets. Lithium ion is so ubiquitous right now that it makes me wonder how much do we have left before we have to switch to something else. Some of the things I've seen that could be viable alternatives there's a sodium battery that's being looked into.
So they're saying
things like that.
They're saying that with this polymer, alkaline batteries become rechargeable.
Oh, wow.
And alkalines use zinc and manganese dioxide, which is cheap.
Much
and
more
abundant.
common, yes, much more abundant than lithium. So
it's like the holy grail of batteries, like we've said with the Toyota thing last week and the lithium ion.
And the one that runs off leaves, and
it's also recyclable. That's what it says here, which is cool. Like you can, that's a big part of this. Even if you can recycle the pieces of it and make new batteries,
because at that point
it becomes more sustainable.
Right? It becomes almost not quite a renewable resource, but
like paper and glass, where it's sustainable,
and aluminum, things like that. Cool. We'll see. We'll see a few years down the road if we talk about it again.
They've got some slow-mo videos of that battery being shot by a bullet, though. You should go check them out. It's pretty cool.
Oh, we need to do that for Patreon.
I learned I threw that battery away.
What? Why?
I was afraid of it blowing up in my house.
Oh, that's a fair.
Yeah, that was one thing I learned when switching out the battery on a MacBook Pro. One of their internal batteries that's glued into the case. They tell you specifically, deplete the charge on that battery because it's the charge in the battery that makes it blow up. If you have a lithium-ion battery that doesn't have a charge, it's much less likely to rupture and explode versus if it's got a full charge, you get a firebomb. I didn't know that. So the more you know.
We were going to film one being destroyed video.
I'm sure we could find another one somewhere.
Yeah, we should do something like that. That'd be a fun video. Our destruction videos are some of my favorite videos that we've done.
Indeed.
We need to figure out what we're doing for Patreon this month.
Yeah, yes, we do.
Got 9 days left.
We've had a really busy month individually, so we haven't had a lot of time to concentrate on that. But we'll figure something out. Anyway, I think that's it. Unless there's anything else you guys want to hit on, we good? James has already taken his headphones off. He's having a stretch.
Yep.
Owen, take us out.
Hey, we hope you care.